Trade rumors are heating up as an ex-New York Jets general manager has spoken out and given a crazy update on Breece Hall's trade rumors, and we got to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Jets Digest. Before we get into the video, if you're not subscribed, please take a second, hit that subscribe button. But getting into the news for today, coming from the mouth of ex-New York Jets general manager Mike Tannenbaum, the general manager for the New York Jets the last time that we made it to the NFL playoffs and to the AFC Championship game. He said, Breece Hall to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 4th-round pick. The Jets are off to a slow start. He is in his last year of his contract. I don't know if he's going to get extended. If we are rebuilding, don't we want another draft choice? And then sitting right next to him on ESPN's Get Up was Mike Greenberg, a New York Jets fan, who said, it seems obvious that they're going to trade Breece Hall. There's no reason to keep him at this point. This is a team that needs to start breaking things down. And I could not agree more with Mike Greenberg. Tannenbaum, the idea is sound. The problem is the compensation. Breece Hall, a 4th-round pick is low for him, especially if it's coming from a team that we expect to be as good as the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are currently 2-3. I know they're below 500. They still have number 15 Patrick Mahomes. They're still going to be a fantastic team. They're going to make the playoffs. That's going to be a late 4th-round pick. If it's going to be Breece Hall is traded to a very good, or for a 4th-round pick, it has to be a middle-of-the-road team, not a very good team. We don't want a late 4th for Breece Hall. That's not enough compensation coming back the other way. I think if we traded Breece Hall to the Kansas City Chiefs for their 3rd-round pick in 2026, that would be the perfect trade for the New York Jets, and let me tell you why. Breece Hall should not be on this roster. They have to trade him away because running backs are not assets that should be held on teams that are not competitive. This team 0-5, we're not going to make the playoffs. We're not going to, make a run to the Super Bowl. Running backs have short shelf lives in the NFL, and you cannot hang on to them for a long time. You can't really invest in them. The New York Jets would be doing the right thing for the future of this team by trading away Breece Hall. Now, I understand that would leave us only with Isaiah Davis, seeing how Braylon Allen is out for maybe the entire season with his knee injury sustained versus the Miami Dolphins on a kickoff return, but we still got, Kene Nwangu's coming back pretty soon. We just signed Khalil Herbert out of free agency. I know it's not the most exciting running back room in the world, and it started off really, really exciting the way we had that trio of Isaiah Davis, Braylon Allen, and Breece Hall. You're saying after 5 weeks, are we really going to tear it down that fast? Life moves quickly in the NFL. I know we are a run-first football team, but sometimes you just got to understand what is right for the team going forwards. Breece Hall, running backs are not, you can't invest in running backs. Don't hang on to them when your team isn't very good. If we want to take a quick peek at what Breece Hall's statistics have been so far for the season, he has 2 games of over 100 yards rushing, that being week 1 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers and then week 5 versus the Dallas Cowboys. You're expecting a little bit more out of Breece Hall. 2 games of under 30 yards rushing is extremely, extremely concerning. Although something that we do know Breece Hall is good at is catching the football. 4 receptions versus the Dallas Cowboys, 5 against the Miami Dolphins. That's good numbers for a guy who is not a bell cow running back for his team. A bell cow running back being when it's one running back getting all the touches for a single offense. The New York Jets run that 3-headed monster with Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, and Breece Hall, so everyone gets less touches. The idea is to keep guys healthy. Didn't work for Braylon Allen, unfortunately, but that's what we got for right now. Now, I know a lot of Jets fans don't want to see Breece Hall go because I don't want to say they think he's a good player because they know he's a good player. He's really good, and I wish we didn't have to trade him. I wish I could sit here in the seat and say, we're a good team. We want to go compete in the playoffs, and in a world where a lot of teams are running too high safeties, and what a ton of teams, especially the LA Chargers, are doing now is they are setting their defensive backs really far back pre-snap, and they're making sure they keep the entire offense in front of them, and then they just come up and make a tackle. So the way, the weakness of that type of defense is running the ball, and that's why teams want to get a strong running back. Last season, the Philadelphia Eagles were able to absolutely jumpstart their offense by adding Saquon Barkley to their offense, and he killed these teams that just want to sit back and too high. Saquon Barkley ripped off a ton of huge runs versus defenses in the postseason and the regular season and helped lead the Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl championship. Now, That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have a really good team, a highly competitive football team. The Eagles lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl not too long ago. They needed to add something, and they added Saquon Barkley. That's when you do add the running back to your team. That's why it makes a ton of sense for the Kansas City Chiefs to add Breece Hall to their lineup right now, because they are ready. They have an offense. They have their quarterback set up. They have their franchise left tackle. They think in rookie left tackle Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. But we know that they have a team already set up and ready to compete for the playoffs. They just need their run game to get better. Their offensive line is blocked really poorly, but Pacheco and Kareem Hunt so far have not really gotten it done for them. Breece Hall on the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, if you're a Breece Hall fan and you're not just someone who only cares about people when they're wearing a Jets helmet, and you want to see our players, if they can't do well with us, maybe they could do better somewhere else. Breece Hall, I think, would go absolutely crazy on the Kansas City Chiefs, and I would love to see Breece Hall get an opportunity with a team that can actually function properly, with Zach Wilson and, the Robert Saleh into Jeff Ulbrich debacle. Breece Hall, just like everyone on this roster, has not had a fair chance to actually compete for anything in his career. And right now, it's not looking like that's going to change this year. I would love to see what Breece Hall could do on an actual team that is able to function properly. Now, I hear the comments. They're saying, if you trade Breece Hall away for a 4th round pick, that's terrible. Good players don't come from the 4th round. That pick is bad for whatever reason. Guys, 4th round running backs or 4th round draft picks turn into great running backs all the time. Just this season, if you guys watched last night, Thursday Night Football, 3 touchdowns for Cam Skattebo, rookie running back out of Arizona State. He was drafted in the 4th round. If you pay attention to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we played them earlier this season, Bucky Irving 2 years ago out of Oregon, 4th round draft pick running back. These running backs taken in the 4th round, and even later than that, they turn into stars all the time. A 4th round pick, go take a running back. Likely, he's not going to be as good as Breece Hall, but he will definitely be under contract for 4 years. Breece Hall is in the final year of his contract. And 2, they will be cheaper than Breece Hall. Breece Hall currently on a rookie deal, but it's a 2nd round rookie deal. Cam Skattebo is getting paid about $1.3 million per year. If we drafted a rookie running back, he would be in that same sort of number range, and he would be under contract for 4 years. So there are a lot of cap space reasons to make this trade. Like I said, I'm still not in on trading Breece Hall for a 4th round pick, but I understand where Mike Tannenbaum is coming from. And I just want to make sure people know that running backs can be taken anywhere because it is the easiest position to play on a football field by a country mile. All you got to do, you got to have good blocks and just run through the hole. There's a reason why the number one thing for a running back to do is run the football, and quarterbacks can run the ball, wide receivers can run the ball. You watch the Colts, Tyler Warren, tight ends can run the ball. And if you watch Alabama football, even your offensive lineman can run the ball too. It's an easy position to play. Just draft an athlete anywhere. It doesn't even have to be as high as the 4th round. That's why you don't really need to invest as highly, in the 2nd round like the New York Jets decided to do with Breece Hall. But what really should be going on is the Jets need to work out the rest of their depth chart, the rest of their team, and then go add that running back as a cherry on top at the end. That's what the Philadelphia Eagles did and won a Super Bowl with Saquon Barkley. That's what the San Francisco 49ers tried to do a couple years ago. They added Christian McCaffrey. They made it to the Super Bowl. They didn't win, but, when Christian McCaffrey's healthy, that team is a perennial Super Bowl contender. Even this season, everyone's injured. I believe that team only has 1, maybe 2 losses due to the San Francisco 49ers. So they are competing at a high level, even though their backup quarterback is playing football. Christian McCaffrey, usually he likes to get injured, but this year, for some reason, he's the only starting player on the San Francisco 49ers who is actually able to stay healthy, which is absolutely crazy. But just another thing with running backs, another reason why you don't love or why you shouldn't like to invest in them is because they get injured more often than other players. And just like I said earlier in the video, they have a shorter shelf life, which is why if you are building a team, a running back is not something that you can have in your long-term plans. They just don't hold up well enough. And Breece Hall, I would love for him to stick around long-term, but this team is not in the right position to be investing in a player like him. I wish him all the best in wherever he ends up, but it does seem very obvious that the New York Jets should be trading him. And if you were someone who wouldn't trade Breece Hall for a 3rd round pick, that just means that you don't know how to build a proper football team. But I mean, I understand everyone has their different ideas on how to build a proper, a proper roster, but a running back when you're not even in the playoff picture is never, ever, ever the way that you should be building out a team. Just look a couple years with staying on, there's a New York Giant on the screen right now. We watched the Giants. They drafted who's probably the best running back I've ever seen with Saquon Barkley. They took him second overall, and he did absolutely nothing because the rest of the team wasn't good. It didn't matter that Saquon Barkley was was arguably the number one running back in the National Football League. Running backs can't do it by themselves. They're highly dependent on the blocking, highly dependent on all the things around them to go right as well. That's why the New York Jets should not be investing long-term in Breece Hall. I wish I could say it was the right move to invest in him, but it's not, because right now we are not a very good football team. But if you stuck around this long in the video, thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Jets.